Masala tea, black tea, green tea, ginger tea, everything. So have you been to a tea factory before?
Yes.
Yeah? Why not? Okay, very good. So I'll quickly go through the stories. You know that when the people own land, they used to go see the land, visit their place like the kings or emperors they do. So in China there was an emperor who was going to visit often once in a while with his soldiers and all. And then one day he was out to look for his lands and all. The soldiers were actually cooking a meal for him. While they were boiling a water, they found a strange leaf falling into the boiling water, and the color turned into orange. And the people who never seen such thing like that, they were actually telling the emperor that some strange leaf falling into the boiling water, the color got changed. So the emperor, he himself botanist, he's also known as father of botany. His name was Sheng No, and then he checked the leaf and he checked the trees around. He found that this is a camellia family, and he knew that camellia family cannot be poisonous. Then he said, okay, let's drink it. So he had the first drink. That was the first ever discovered tea. I mean, it was a herbal drink in that time. That was 2737 BC. It's about 4,000 years. So they were drinking as a herbal drinker. After drinking that liquor, he found some energy, refreshing, because of the medicinal contents in the leaves. So you know that whenever we discover something new, it always spreads. So people used to go to the forest, finding the leaves and boiling into the water, drinking it. And then you know that when we smell any lemon tree leaf or like orange leaves, when you smell like this, we won't get any smell. But when we damage the leaves, we started getting the smell. So somebody already thought about it. They started damaging the leaves. So they were not tearing it. They started rolling it by hands. So that was the first ever process. Either they take it in wooden planks or by hands. They used to roll it and then boil it, drinking it. And then every day they cannot go to the forest, so they wanted to store it. So when they store it as a green leaf itself, it gets moisture. So they started drying it. That's how the process slowly came into different ways. And you know that it became a little more popular. It was more popular among the Buddhist monks who used to drink this particular liquor and sit day long for meditation. Because of the caffeine content, they can stay awake. That was the idea. So, and then $10, huh?
Yeah.
And then it was becoming little more in a larger scale. So they started processing as like a factory. Don't imagine a factory in this size, maybe a small house size. So one of the day, in one of the Chinese village, I forgot the name of the village, they used to do the process, and there was an army parade going on in the village. People who never seen an army parade, they left the process behind. They all went to see the army parade. It took about 3 or 4 hours. When they come back, the tea was brown in color instead of green. So that means with the contact of atmospheric air, the color turned into brown. That's what the oxidation happened. Same like potato or apple, you just cut it, leave it, it turns brown. Same thing happened to this leaf also. So then they were worried what to do with it, and somebody decided, okay, let's dry it, try to sell it. If it sells, it's fine. If not, we can't do anything. So they dried it, tried to sell it. Surprisingly, they sold it much quicker than before, and people started demanding for this particular tea even for more price. Because of the oxidation, the aroma started gaining. That is what happened. That's how the black tea came. Then it went on like that, and then there was this. Then again, it spread to nearest countries, and then tea was introduced already before in England, but it was not so popular. But then in 1600, one of the princes from Dutch, she got married to a British prince called Catherine Braganza. She introduced tea in the royal families, the king's families and the queen's families, and then it became that's it. Then it became like so popular. Then it's like a fashion drink. It was a very prestigious drink. It was a very precious drink for the British people. They even used to lock it in wooden box and keep it in wooden box and lock it because it was very precious, very expensive. If you know that even the tips culture starts from the tea only. You know what is tips? People give tips. Its culture start from the tea only, because whenever they go to a coffee shop, in that time it was coffee shop, never a tea shop. whenever they go to a coffee shop, if they get a prompt service, they used to drop a coin in a wooden box or somewhere in the table to say that to improve and promote service when they come next time. That's how the tips also came. So it went on like that. And then, there was a Cold War between England and China because of the tea. Tea was only produced by China. It was supplied to other parts of the world. Since it was very expensive, instead of paying cash, the British started giving opium. When the Chinese government realized that, there was a small Cold War. So these all things were happening. But 1664, there was a turning point in the tea. British decided, okay, anyhow, we need to find out where the tea is coming from, and we want to do it. So they sent one finest botanist from England, pretending as Chinese, going to China, learn about all the tea process. When he come back, he also came with some saplings and sent 8 other expert farmers back to England. Till then, the world never knew that green tea and black tea comes from the same leaf. And then they realized tea needs at least 1,000 meters height from sea level. Tea likes acidic soil. Tea like tropical evergreen climate. So wherever they were in that height, like about 1,000 meters height, they started planting tea. That's how they also planted tea in India. While they were planting tea in India, they found tea is originally growing in India as indigenous species. That particular species, it's called Camellia sinensis assamica, comes from northeast of India. And the tea comes from China. It's called Camellia sinensis, China. These are the 2 species. Camellia family have more than 300 species of different